Hey guys, Darkman11 NBA back up in the video. 2019-20 NBA news, episode 1. This is going to be a new series, so be watching all the videos of this series, but we're just going to call it NBA 2019-20 NBA news, and then we're going to say the biggest thing that I see. But yeah, Bradley Beal signs extension with Wizards. Bradley Beal signed a 2-year extension worth nearly $72 million with Washington on Thursday, a major victory for the Wizards in the move that will keep the All-Star guard out of free agency for at least the next 3 summers. Beal still had 2 years left on his existing contract. The extension kicks in for the 2021-22 season, has a player option for the following year, and means that Beal won't be part of what has been shaping up to be an NBA free agent extravaganza in the summer of 2021. It's a blessing, man, for one, that they even consider me a franchise player, a piece of this organization in itself, Beal said at a news conference in Washington, and I was prideful of that. You don't get that type of love and respect and responsibility from anywhere. Bradley Beal lit up the Hornets for a season-high 46 points on February 26, 2019. Okay, let's continue. The Wizards were willing to give Beal a 3-year extension that would have been worth about $111 million. Beal went the 2-year route, and that protects his future options. He could opt out of the deal in the summer of 22, coinciding with his 10th year in the league. The 10-year milestone is significant by having that many years of service. Beal would be able to sign a new deal worth in excess of $250 million over the next 5 seasons. You ask yourself a lot of questions during free agency. Why do people leave? Why did they go other places? General manager Tommy Shepard said, "We're always retained our free agents. The one we wanted to keep, we did, and this is a humongous opportunity right here with Bradley Beal. It speaks to the rest of the league that he believes in this place, and that's huge." Shepard told a story as this team was getting ready to begin training camp about what he says to young players he meets for the first time. Work as hard as Beal. It sounds easy, Shepard said. Then you come in and you see all the work that Bradley puts in every day. All the leadership he exudes every day. He's shown time and time again how committed he is to DC. Can Bradley Beal keep the Wizards in the playoff chase in the East? I'm not for sure about that. John Wall, just trade John Wall. If they can trade John Wall, trade him. He keeps getting injured. Bradley Beal is the star player of the team, and that's it. But yeah, Beal has played more minutes than any other NBA player in the last 2 regular seasons, is one of only 5 players to not miss a game in that span, and is the lone player to have started all 82 games in both those seasons. He's an elite scorer, 12th in the league last season at a career-best 25.6 points per game, and he will be the centerpiece again for a Wizards team that's without point guard John Wall for the entire season as he recovers from an Achilles injury. "This is where I've been for the last 7 years, going on 8, Beal said. "I have an opportunity to be able to turn this thing around, and a lot of people doubt that. I view it as a challenge." Shepard said Beal is poised for yet another big year, and that the way he was interacting with teammates in recent weeks didn't give him any reason to believe he wasn't committed to the team. The fact that he showed up in Summer League and worked with our young players and watched what we're doing, he was so committed throughout the summer. Shepard said he came in September and had everybody out here working out. All those actions showed somebody that really wanted to be here. So, my thoughts on Bradley Beal is great player. Don't know if he should have stayed with the Wizards, but if he can bring the Wizards into the playoffs this year, then, well, that's pretty surprising because, honestly, the Wizards are worse than, I'd say, the Suns, and, well, D-Book hasn't really done anything, really, to get close to the playoffs, but maybe he will this year. But if Bradley Beal can make the playoffs this year, that would be pretty crazy. Now let's get to my next news. So the Warriors waiving McKinney and keeping Marquise Chris. So yeah, I don't really like this because I liked Alfonzo McKinney, but yeah, the Warriors are parting with one young prospect to make way for another. Per multiple reports, Golden State is waving forward Alfonzo McKinney and plans to keep former number 8 overall pick Marquise Chris. Chris was signed on October 1st and averaged 9.5 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks in 22.6 minutes per game in the preseason. McKinney averaged 5 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 0.8 blocks per game, while playing 21.5 minutes per game. Both players appeared in 4 preseason games for Golden State. McKinney was an undrafted prospect from the Warriors signed in the summer of 2018 after he appeared in 25 games for the Toronto Raptors in the 2017-18 season. He was a solid contributor in the team's run to the finals last year, particularly in the Western Conference Finals. In that series, McKinney appeared in all 4 games versus Portland, averaged 6 points and 3 rebounds in 17.5 minutes per game off the bench. Alfonzo McKinney had a unique journey to the NBA. Chris averaged 4.2 points per game and 3.3 rebounds in 11.6 minutes last season, which he split between the Houston Rockets and Cleveland Cavaliers. A 3-year NBA veteran, Chris has averaged 7.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, and 19.1 minutes per game in 197 career games. He was originally drafted by Phoenix Suns, who traded him to Houston in August of 2018. So I'm a little sad about them trading Alfonzo McKinney, but Marquise Chris is a great player. Now let's go to Zion. Report: Zion Williamson knee expected to miss period of weeks to start season. New Orleans Pelicans rookie Zion Williamson expected to be out for a period of weeks to open the season, per ESPN's Adrian Woj. I don't know what to say. Wojnarowski, something like that. But as Woj said that, Williamson was ruled out for the Pelicans' preseason finale tonight because of right knee soreness. Woj reports a severe knee injury has been ruled out for Williamson, but that he is expected to miss a period of weeks to open 2019-20. The Pelicans are, per Woj, treating Williamson's injury with caution is severe. He has plenty of time to recover. To ensure. Pelicans coach Alvin Gentry told reporters Friday that he believes Williamson sustained his injury on October 13th in the Pelicans' preseason game against the San Antonio Spurs. In that game, Williamson scored 22 points and had 10 rebounds in a 123-114 victory. Gentry told reporters he has spoken to Williamson, who is in good spirits about everything. Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports reports Williamson will undergo further evaluations on his right knee today and possibly tomorrow. The team is relieved that he has avoided any major long-term issues with the injury. New Orleans officials said Thursday that Williamson didn't travel with the team to New York, remaining in New Orleans to undergo further testing and evaluation at Ochsner Sports Medicine. He was to have played Friday night against former Duke teammate R.J. Barrett, the number 3 overall pick, in a nationally televised game. In his lone season, Williamson suffered at Duke, but Williamson suffered a mild right knee sprain. That injury occurred when his sneaker gave out a few seconds into a game against rival North Carolina. Williamson missed 3 weeks with the injury, returning in time to play in the ACC tournament. The number 1 overall pick of the 2019 draft, Williamson averaged 23.3 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 2.3 assists per game in 4 preseason appearances for the Pelicans. His absence may mean the Pelicans find an increased role for their other rookie big man Jackson Hayes, who was the number 8 overall pick in the 2019 draft. The Pelicans also have veteran big men in Derek Favors and Jahlil Okafor, who could both move over into bigger roles in the front court while Williamson heals. Information from the Associated Press was used in this report. So my thoughts, hopefully Zion is not injury prone, because Zion is a great player. I want to see Zion play. Okay, now let's see this. Dwane Casey, he's a great coach. I thought it was surprising that the Raptors fired him, but Dwane Casey has had a whole year at the Pistons, and he brought them to the playoffs. Q&A, Dwane Casey welcomes changes to Pistons' style of play. Detroit's coach opens up about offensive inspiration, his plans for Derrick Rose, and more. Derrick Rose is a great player. I think maybe Derrick Rose could be it's either Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, or D. Rose winning the 6th Man of the Year award this year, honestly. Philadelphia, the Detroit Pistons haven't won a playoff game since 2008. That's an especially remarkable 11-year run given that they're in the Eastern Conference. Last season's Pistons finished 8th in the East before getting swept in the first round by the Milwaukee Bucks. They had a little financial flexibility, making them somewhat hamstrung and rugged making changes. Detroit did trade for Tony Snell before adding Markieff Morris and Derrick Rose in free agency. D. Rose, great player, one of my favorite players of all time. The Pistons are, yeah, but still, if the Pistons are going to end that 11-year playoff win drought, there will need to be some improvement from within. Perhaps that comes from a group of young wings that includes second-year starter Bruce Brown and third-year reserve Luke Kennard. Charged with lifting the Pistons out of a mediocrity, his former coach of the year winner Dwane Casey, who is entering his second season in Detroit. His inaugural season came and went, and then he watched his former team, the Toronto Raptors, win their first NBA championship. NBA.com recently sat down with Casey after his team shoot on Philadelphia. The discussion addressed both his team and his process. John Schumann, how different is the start of year 2 than the start of year 1 with a new team? Dwane Casey, well, you know the strengths and weaknesses of guys in certain situations, whether it's under pressure or whatever it is. You guys know what they can do and can't do. Working guys this summer, we know what to work on. It's not just watching video, but you get to know personalities in certain situations. It wasn't easier, but we had a clear picture of what we wanted to do. Okay, John said, how about the group as a whole? Do you have a better sense of the team's identity that you did a year ago? And this is what Dwane said. Not really, because we got 7 new guys. John said, but the core is the same. And Dwane Casey said, the core is the same, but Derrick Rose is going to be an important piece. Tony Snell is going to be an important piece. Incorporating all those guys is going to be important. It's a little bit different. We gelled a little bit quicker last year because that group had been together the year prior. John said, what is your summer process like in regard to player development, but in regard to the coach's plan for the season? Season ahead. Dwane Casey said, you spend time watching a lot of film. I spent the summer watching our previous year's games, looking at our practice notes, and trying to see what we could tweak, what we could do differently, what we could add or take away, what didn't work. I spent most of my summer nights after the families go to bed doing them. I talked to a lot of European coaches. I got friends over there that I steal stuff from, talk to, maybe have them look at what we're doing and say, hey, what would you do differently? I might not take it, but just see what others' options are there that we may be missing. That's what Pistons coach Dwane Casey said. John, how many of your 82 games did you watch? And Dwane Casey said, I would say I probably watched 50 or 60 of them, and then the playoffs, but the playoffs didn't take very long. Ha ha ha. John, and then you come into the office and compare notes with staff. Dwane Casey, we emailed back and forth for the summer, and we're in the different cities. What do you think? Do you like that? I didn't like this, or whatever it was. So you spend the summer trying to prepare for the season. John, and how much do numbers play a role? Dwane said quite a bit. The points per possession of certain plays. If it didn't work and there's enough of sample size, we'll take that out. But my thing with PPP, if we're got a great lookout, if we're not just going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, we're going to make sure we know why a play worked or didn't work. If we get a good look, we're going to stay with it. Damn, how much longer is this? Okay, I'm not reading this whole thing. So that thing was really long, but yeah, they're revealing that. Silver on China, not sure where we'll go from here. Let's see how long this is. Not too long. The rift between the NBA and China appeared to widen again Friday as the fallout over Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey's tweet in support of an anti-government protesters in Hong Kong continued. A day after NBA Commissioner M. Silver said Chinese officials wanted Morey fired, a spokesman for China's foreign ministry told reporters that no such demand was made by the government there. That becomes the latest chapter in the now 2-week-old saga over Morey's tweet that was quickly deleted but has led to considerable damage to the long relationship between the NBA and China. I felt we had made enormous progress in terms of building cultural exchange with the Chinese people, Silver said Thursday during an appearance at the Time 100 Health Summit in New York again. I regret that much of that was lost, and I'm not even sure what will go from there. That future seems even murkier now. During that same appearance, Silver revealed that the Chinese government told the NBA it wanted Morey fired. Obviously, we made clear that we were being asked to fire him by the Chinese government, by the parties we dealt with government and business. Silver said, we said there's no chance that's happening. There's no chance we'll even discipline him. But Friday, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Jing Sheng rebutted by saying, the Chinese government never posed this requirement. Jing said last week that the NBA has been working with China for a long while and it knows very well what it should say and do next. Jing did not offer further specifics. The league and LeBron James, one of its biggest stars, have been heavily criticized by some U.S. lawmakers for the perception that they saved to the Chinese regimen. Murray has not been rebunked publicly by the league, and Silver has said that the league will support his freedom of expression. We wanted to make an absolute clear statement that the values of the NBA, these American values, we are an American business, travel with us wherever we go, and one of those values is free expression, Silver said. We wanted to make sure everyone understood we were supporting free expression. The Rockets were of massive interest in China, largely because of Yao Ming, the Chinese star who spent his entire NBA career in Houston, 11 years. Yao is now the president of the Chinese Basketball Association, which was suspended its ties to the Rockets because of the tweet. Murray has not commented publicly since a pair of tweets on October 6 attempting to clarify his position. I understand there's a point of view from some that we shouldn't be in business at all in China, and I'd say from an intellectual standpoint that's fair. Not getting into whether the tweet or response to it, Silver said, but if people believe that we shouldn't be engaged in commerce in China or frankly in other places in the world, I at some point look to the American government. We're in the middle of negotiating a trade agreement, Silver continued. Many multinational corporations do trade extensively with China. And if that's ultimately how our government feels, we should be dealing with China again. We are a U.S. company. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV did not air the two NBA preseason games between the Los Angeles Lakers and Brooklyn Nets last week. Tencent, which has a $1.5 billion deal to stream NBA games in China over the next 5 years, has also stopped showing Rockets games but has not told to drop all NBA content. The losses have already been substantial. Silver said, our games are not back on the air in China as we speak, and we'll see what happens next. Associated Press writer Christopher Bowden in Beijing contributed to this report. So yeah, that's that report. So I don't know what the Rockets general manager said, but he should have not said anything like that because, well, that's just kind of stupid to say. Oh, so what do the Jazz exercise options on Mitchell and Bradley? Salt Lake City. The Utah Jazz announced today that the team has exercised its team options for the 2021 season on center Tony Bradley and guard Donovan Mitchell. Bradley, 6'11", 248 pounds, from North Carolina, is entering his third NBA season with the Jazz, where he owns career averages of 2 points per game and 2 rebounds in 5 minutes per contest. In 2018-19, the Bartow Fluau native averaged 6 points and 5 boards in 12 minutes per contest, recording his first career double-double at the Los Angeles Clippers on April 10th with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. The 21-year-old has appeared in 44 games, all starts with the Jazz G League affiliate Salt Lake City Stars, over his 2-year professional career, averaging 14 points on 58.4% from the field, 9 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1.3 blocks in 27.7 minutes per contest. Mitchell, 6'3", 215 pounds, from Louisville, owns a career averages of 22 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.4 steals in 156 games, 148 starts over 2 NBA seasons. The 23-year-old led all sophomores in scoring last season at 24 points per contest, becoming the first sophomore guard to average over 23 points since Dwane Wade in 2004-05. In addition, after his 139th game, Mitchell totaled 3,011 points, 539 rebounds, and 530 assists, joining LeBron James, Allen Iverson, Mitch Richmond, Michael Jordan, Sidney Wicks, Earl Monroe, and Oscar Robertson as the last 8 players to total over 3,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists within their first 140 games. The 2018 NBA Slam Dunk champion and NBA All-Star Weekend was twice named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Week last season for weeks ending on January 7th and March 4th. After January 4th, Mitchell owned averages of 26.5 points, 4.8 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.1 steals in 35 minutes per game, helping the Jazz to a 50-32 record in the third straight postseason appearance. So, that's smart because Donovan Mitchell is a great player. Great player. Now, Tony Bradley, he's okay. Decent. Oh, now let's go. Lakers, Caruso, pelvis exits early. So, yeah. The Los Angeles Lakers preseason finale ended early for guard Alex Caruso, who exited in the first quarter Friday after suffering a bone contusion in his pelvis. Playing just 3 minutes as the starting point guard, Caruso had logged 2 points, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers before trembling his way out of action. Caruso is expected to be re-evaluated upon the team's return to Los Angeles. In his third season with the Lakers off Texas A&M, Caruso came out on strong toward the end of last season, shooting 48% from the three-point range and 44.5 overall in 25 games. The 6'5" guard averaged 9.2 points and 3.1 assists in 21 minutes per game. Okay, so the Lakers are going to be out with Alex Caruso for a little bit, but Rondo's a great point guard, so they should be fine. Reports. Raptors, Pascal, Siakam agree on a 4-year max extension. Pascal Siakam is officially a major part of the Toronto Raptors' long-term plans. Well, he deserves to be. He won the Most Improved Player of the Year last year, and he helped them win a championship. The Raptors and Siakam have agreed on a 4-year, $130 million maximum extension. A person with knowledge of the situation told the Associated Press on Saturday, speaking on condition of anonymity because the signing has not been publicly announced. ESPN first reported the agreement. Siakam was a breakout player and the league's most improved player last season for the NBA champions, averaging career highs of 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's entering his 4th season and now is under contract to the Raptors through the 2023-24 season. Siakam was even better for the Raptors in the playoffs last spring, averaging 19 points and 7.1 rebounds in 24 games as Toronto went on to win its first title. During the offseason, Siakam said he still believes his best basketball is ahead of him. I don't feel no limits at all, Siakam said. I feel like it's only the beginning for me and there's so much more to come. I'm just excited about the future and the possibility to even get better and better from this. And knowing that it's only been 3 years, I'm in the league for 3 years, and there's so much more growth and things that I can improve on, so I don't think I'm going to stop now. Siakam's rise has been meteoric. He grew up as a soccer player in his native Cameroon before being steered toward basketball, first getting noticed at a Basketball Without Borders camp in South Africa in 2012. He made his way to college at New Mexico State, wound up as the Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year in his second season, and eventually get drafted by the Raptors. In 2017, Siakam was the MVP of the G League Finals after helping the Raptors 905 win the league's title, and now he's a max player, set to make $29 million in 2021 and just over $35 million in the 4th and final year of the new deal. Pascal Siakam deserves the deal. He's a great player. Great player. Reports. Snyder agrees to extension with the Jazz. So he's a pretty good coach. He's brought the Jazz to 3 years of playoffs, I think it said, right? Utah Jazz coach Quinn Snyder has agreed to a long-term extension with the Utah Jazz, according to ESPN's Woj. Snyder has led Utah to playoffs in the 3 straight seasons while helping the Jazz become one of the Western Conference's top teams, according to Woj. The new deal will add multiple years onto Snyder's contract, which still had 2 remaining. Snyder has a 227 out of 183 record in 6 seasons of being the coach for the Utah Jazz. Okay, so the Hawks exercise options on John Collins, Trae Young, and Kevin Huerter. So the Atlanta Hawks have exercised the 2020-2021 contract options on 3 of the team's top young players, forward John Collins and guards Trae Young and Kevin Huerter. The team exercised the 4th-year option on Collins and 3rd-year options on Young and Huerter. Collins led the Hawks with his averages of 19.5 points and 10 rebounds last season. Young was an NBA All-Rookie first-team selection, averaging 19 points and 8 assists. Huerter was a second-team All-Rookie pick after scoring 10 points per game. Also Saturday, the Hawks signed forward Mark Ogden Jr. later in the day. The team requested waivers on Ogden and Kenny Grabler, who signed on Friday. Okay. So, yeah, the Hawks definitely were going to re-sign Trae Young and John Collins, and Kevin Huerter's a pretty good player. Okay, what does this say? Heat suspended Dion Waiters for season opener over conduct. Shooting guard Dion Waiters has been suspended by the Miami Heat for their season opener against Memphis on Wednesday night for what was described as conduct detrimental to the team. There were a number of unacceptable incidents this week, culminating with his unprofessional conduct on the bench last night, Heat President Pat Riley said in a statement Saturday night. As a consequence, I feel we had to suspend him. Waiters got into a discussion with Heat coach Eric Spoelstra during Friday night's game. Though the Heat did not specifically address what any of the incidents were. Waiters played only 10 minutes in Friday night's preseason finale. 9 players got more, not even including Jimmy Butler, who got the night off for rest. Waiters averaged 14 minutes per game in 4 preseason appearances. Waiters is the second player to face publicly announced punishment from the Heat already this season. James Johnson was not permitted to attend training camp because his level of conditioning was not at the team's standards and returned to practice late in the preseason. Waiters is entering his first season with the Heat. He missed 126 of a possible 246 games over the last 3 years, largely because of his ankle injuries and a subsequent surgery on his foot and ankle. Waiters averaged 12 points last season in 44 games. The Heat said he will be permitted to return to the team on Thursday. So, pretty much, Dion Waiters had a temper tantrum. Okay, so Harden and Westbrook catch Astros fever. So, with a few days off before the Houston Rockets opened the regular season against the Milwaukee Bucks, James Harden and Russell Westbrook were having a blast at Minute Maid Park rooting for the Astros during Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. Sitting behind home plate, Harden and Westbrook were wearing orange Astros jerseys with their names and numbers on the back. They were shown several times on the television broadcast waving their towels along with the crowd during big moments of the game. The Rockets traded for Westbrook during the offseason, and he is doing his best to embrace his new city. The Astros won the game dramatically in the bottom of the ninth inning when Jose Altuve blasted a 2-1 homer. No word if Harden and Westbrook plan to attend Game 1 of the World Series on Tuesday night. Well, so that's pretty cool. I didn't even know who was in the World Series. I haven't really been caught up with baseball because I'm a Cubs fan, and yeah. But that's pretty cool. And now we're going to be checking out the New York Knicks. Come on. What's taking so long? Well, it's okay. Let's get on this again. If it doesn't work again... Well, it's not working. Maybe it'll work this time. Just trying it one more time. Will it work? Will it work? I don't think so. We're going to check the new NBA uniforms, Eastern Conference. Oh, okay. 8 teams in the East have unveiled the new looks for 2019-20. NBA teams across the league have begun to unveil new Nike uniform designs for the 2019-20 regular season, before the season tips off on October 22nd. Check out all the new looks announced so far in the Eastern Conference for Western Conference uniforms. Click here. For a complete list of every team's uniform plans for each game, visit Locker Vision. Jump to Team New York, Indiana, Milwaukee, Chicago, Brooklyn, Philly, Charlotte, Cleveland, Washington, Orlando. New York Knicks. The Knicks have revealed the team's 3rd uniform for the 2019-20 season, inspired by the hustle and strength of the city and team. The Knicks will rep the Statement Edition uniform against all Western Conference teams. First debuting in the season opener at San Antonio on October 23rd, and at the Garden for the first time on November 3rd versus Sacramento. That's a pretty cool jersey. Not bad. Indiana Pacers. After 2 seasons playing an entirely gold statement uniform with directional full coverage. I want to see. After 2 seasons playing an entirely gold statement uniform with directional ray lines, Nike has unveiled the second iteration of the statement, reaching back to Pacers uniforms of the past for inspiration. I didn't get to see it, but the Bucks statement uniform is a supercharged version of the team's previous Fear the Deer uniform. In addition to the Cream City Rainbow, which represents the diverse colors of Milwaukee and surrounding areas, the uniform features Cream City cream numbers for the first time. So yeah, I may be going to another Bucks game this year. I went to one in 2017, 2018. Chicago Bulls. Oh man, I want to see the Bulls. The Bulls are bringing back a remastered version of their iconic 90 pinstripes. The new Black Statement Edition uniform features embossed vertical pinstripes, creating a sophisticated yet stealth look with iconic detailing of the jersey rib, short waistband, and side panels featuring the Bulls' primary red color. As a nod to the history of the franchise success, 6 stars in the form of the Chicago flag were also added to the belt buckle. I want to see that one. Ooh, that Brooklyn one is nice. The Nets turned to Brooklyn-based artist Eric Hayes for their team's latest look. Hayes designed the team's new Statement Edition uniform, which features a concrete gray color, hand-drawn Brooklyn letters across the chest, and Hayes' signature star down the left side of the jersey. Pretty cool. The Sixers are turning the clock back to the 1970s with their Classic Edition uniform this season. The throwback replicates the jersey worn by Philadelphia during the 1970-71 season, and it features a special 76ers wordmark design on the front of the jersey. The Hornets will bring back their iconic purple uniform this season to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the jersey's debut during the 1994-95 season. The 2019-20 edition of the uniform will echo the past while also incorporating some new elements. Is that it? That's not bad. But I thought it was going to look exactly like the 90s, but yeah. Additionally, the Hornets are tweaking their Statement Edition uniforms for the 2019-20 as well. Most notably, the chest plate says CHA for Charlotte, matching the NBA's official abbreviation for the Hornets. This marks the first time the team has used the abbreviation, which appears in a white with a teal outline on its jerseys. The numbers are teal and the player's name on the back is white, as they wore on the previous Statement Edition uniform. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers ascended back to the mid-1990s with their Classic Edition uniforms this season. The design features a modern take on the fan-favorite black uniforms that debuted during the 1994-95 season. The team will debut the uniform during the team's home opener on October 26th, and it will be worn 7 other times throughout the regular season. The Wizards unveiled their Statement Edition uniform design, which showcases the District of Columbia written across the front of this jersey. Kind of looks like the other one, just a little bit different. The Orlando Magic. The Magic announced an update to the team's blue Statement Edition uniforms, which will now feature a black stripe around the middle of the jersey. Okay, so that's the new jerseys. Didn't show all of them, but now let's keep continuing this. Oh, well, that's pretty much it for this video. And yeah, guys, leave a like and subscribe. And I'm sorry this video is really long. Episode 3, which will be NBA season opener, won't be as long. And all the other videos won't be as long as this one. This is the first one, and it's kind of introduction to this. And yeah, guys, this is 2019-20 NBA News, Episode 1, yeah. Leave a like and subscribe. Yeah, guys, bye.